Hey everybody, you're watching another episode of Winston Walks, or call it Walking with Winston. It's a snowy afternoon here in Toronto. Surprisingly, I don't consider it cold. A lot of you may, but this is your Toronto winters. So we're walking down Bay Street. We started at Bay and College, so thought I'd do a next episode here, kind of to demonstrate the Toronto winters for folks who, maybe people who want to move here, or people who, are just interested in general. Kind of want to see what all the hype's about. Yeah, this is what your $1,000,000 will get you. Or the condos down here, which are close to $1,000,000, will get you. Like I said, it's not too bad. Whether like cold-wise, I mean, it's kind of annoying, obviously, with all the snow going in my face. These are the older condos down here. As you can tell, they're actually more spacious. The newer ones here, they really pack them in, you know. Oh, this Silk Road kebab house is actually pretty good. I have tried that previously. I should try that again and post a video here. Thank you for the folks who've been liking those, watching those. I'm glad you folks do find value in it. I appreciate those folks also asking questions. I'm really glad to help. When we were in Vegas, we tried a lot of different places, and I'm glad we can. Some people ask questions, so I'm glad people. I was able to help with people there. And then, hopefully in Toronto here, we're going to try different places on a regular basis. I'm going to post different things as I see that are just, they're neat or cool or whatever. And then, kind of good value places and things like that. So we still have them here in Toronto. They're a little less... I'm okay. I don't know where he was speaking. It's a little less, obviously, because some places are closing now, and then when they reopen, the new place with the food prices there, they're much more elevated. So that sucks, but it's part of the time, right? And food inflation, is making a comeback, so I don't think restaurants need to kind of compensate for that. Like, I know they obviously they consume or they eat some of that, right, rise themselves, but I understand as a consumer we kind of have to pay part of that. That sucks about inflation. Alright, so we're coming up to Gerrard and Bay here. We're going to cross here. We're going to walk across Gerrard. There's our condo. Alrighty, let's go. Interesting news in terms of the Toronto real estate market is our mayor, her committee. They're recommending a 10.5% tax rate increase, property tax rate increase. And then they've also are talking about a quote-unquote special levy, a federal levy. If the federal government doesn't chip in, they're going to have to tack on another 6%. So believe it or not, it could get as bad as 16.5% or more actually, because the mayor at the end has to make her decision. But granted, I think she's going to propose something lower than the 10.5 because let's just be honest. Overall, it's a lot more than obviously inflation. So the city is having a lot of issues, right? And folks who have a home. Sorry, it's really coming down this way now. But folks who have a home, I have a feeling they kind of want to aim their vitriol at them, right? Without saying so. If you think about it, if that quote-unquote class owned the homes down here are supposedly expensive. Well, they are expensive, right? What they will do is either they will force, folks from previous generations to sell their home, right? Because they can't handle the carrying costs. And then that'll in turn, in theory, bring on more homes onto the market. Granted, they're thinking very short term in terms of the home issue, but Toronto's funding, Toronto's management, quite honestly, and funding are another whole story. But so I don't know in terms of our federal minister, Chrystia Freeland, met with our mayor, Olivia Chow, this weekend apparently. They're trying to hammer something out. The federal government didn't like how the mayor, they said essentially kind of blackmailed them into it, which I can see their point as well, quite frankly. But we are getting a lot of immigrants here, frankly, and the city is overrun. Granted, the city has not been managed well for a long time. You can see in terms of the infrastructure where things have gone down for a long time. Oh, okay, so we'll get a little bit of overpass here, so protection. But so they're gonna talk about that, and then I have a feeling, like I said, I don't think Olivia Chow's gonna put on the 10.5%. She'll probably do something like 9, and just kind of try to save face in that sense. Say I saved you 1.5%, even though in reality, the last year, apparently, the previous mayor, they had a 5.5% increase, and that was not very well received. So now you're gonna have another, I don't know, somewhere around 10. So it's getting really expensive just to operate a home in Toronto. And then the assessments obviously are going up every year, those property assessments. So it's not, and also as they flip homes, if you think about it, people, they force that previous generation to sell because their market price is lower. The newer generation who are paying that higher price, well, they're going to be paying on a higher tax base, ACB, right? In terms, and also on the rate. So for the city, that actually works well as well. So that's another reason why I think they're doing it as well. We just passed Yonge. That was Yonge and Gerrard. Guess what they're building. More condos. This is TMU/Ryerson University. This is the main campus here. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, from an investment perspective, if you think about it, if they're increasing their costs, their expense every year, in terms of taxes, because that increase, it'll stay at that increase at least. I don't see them lowering the property taxes anytime soon, because the city is a mess. It really is. And then with especially in the cold weather like now, people, a lot of the things, a lot of the issues really start to show itself, right? The homeless, obviously, you can't have folks sleeping out here. They will freeze. If you do the tent city and use heaters, there's a big time danger in that. So we want to avoid that, but at the same time, we have to find places to house people. The economy is slowing. Inflation is not falling. Inflation is actually rising. So it's a mess. It really is. And also, from measures that I've heard, I think it's the Bank of Canada. They've undergone. I don't want to get too technical, but essentially, they've undergone. They've been helping us, but they've been helping. Could be one or more large financial institutions in terms of overnight lending, and essentially, they're doing things that are very stimulative. That essentially creates liquidity in the economy, and that will stoke inflation. Not obviously publicly, they're not advertising it because, it's inflation is obviously still an issue, but it is interesting why they're doing that, and it may be the fact that there's, somebody who is very large, very important, that is in trouble, and that's why they're even with inflation being an issue, they'll choose that over this FI or several FIs, blowing up, let's say. So it's interesting times in Canada, folks. Interesting times, especially in Toronto here. We're coming up to Church and Gerrard. This is a theater school of Ryerson/TMU. James Cameron actually attended this school. He's a Torontonian of Titanic / many movies. Terminator 2 fame. That was a great movie. But yeah, he went here. I have noticed, another thing is the small businesses in Canada. I think they got loans from the government during COVID, and the time to pay back now. I think for forgiveness, they're getting I think they're like 60,000 was the max, and the government would forgive 20,000 if they repaid it. I think it was as of like yesterday or a couple days ago. Anyways, unfortunately, I've noticed around the city a lot of small businesses just closing down because there really hasn't been, I mean, it's tough. Like I mentioned, in a time where, if you're a restaurant, your food costs have gone up. So that's really sucks. So this church in Gerrard, we're gonna go left. Sorry. And we're gonna walk up. So yes, so a lot of smaller businesses I've seen around the city kind of closed down, um, which is a shame because there's ones that I've seen that were here for like 20 years, um, you know, and they've closed down. I suspect it's probably about that loan. So I don't know. Like I said, it's a shame. But the economy isn't good right now. But also when, depending on when you, or when I release this, because I have a bunch of stuff I wanted to release. The NHL All-Star Game is coming, and I'll be going to some of the fan events. So I'm going to be doing some videos there. Gonna try to live stream some of my other channel as well, because that one's more sports and hobby focused. So if hopefully if you get a chance to check that out, I'll post the replay as well. Okay, I went across here. This is McGill Street in Church, but that should be fun. Beyond Fusion. Aziz Shawarma. There's Sineon Topoki. Right over there. This is Granby Street. There's a tall condo for you there as well. Okay, we're coming up to Carlton and Church Street on this snowy day. As you can tell, it has not lightened up. Whew. Okay, now I'm getting a little bit cold. I can see where other people find it really cold. Okay, folks. I'm going to give you a nice little shot here of the intersection. It's Church and Carlton. Thanks for walking with me today. My name is Winston. I take walks. I'm based in Toronto. It's winter. Thank you for walking with me. I hope if you find benefit of this, whether you're a tourist, if you're someone who's planning to move here or thinking about moving here, or if you just enjoy it. I'm glad I bring any positivity to you today. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I've lived here my whole life. But yes, thanks for walking with me, and I'll see you in the next walk. Bye-bye.